To My Creative Time with Emma. Today I'm doing a simple little project here. I wanted to do some cute little cards that have a tree in it. That's like this. I designed these in My Gypsy. I wanted to do something cute for our post office. There's two ladies and a gentleman who are always so super duper helpful with, especially with my mother when we go in there. So anyways, I'm just going to show you how I designed this cute little card in My Gypsy. Okay, right now. For today's card, I used my new favorite cartridge, Art Philosophy, which you could get from Miss Melanie Brown, and she's with Courtney Lane Designs. I will have a link to her on my blog where you could pick up this awesome cartridge from, okay? Okay, so I got this little shape here. This little shape, I believe it is, let's see, this one right there, which is the last row, 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth one over. Okay, so let me go ahead and just come back here on my page. So what I did was I actually, in order, let me zoom in for you. In order for me to zoom in, you could go ahead and just click on this top button once and tap the screen, okay? So what I did was, to make sure the nugget fit in there perfectly, I had actually turned off the little link there, and I made sure this was at real dial size, which is right here. So I made sure I made the width 1.5 inches, 1.5 across, and then I did I needed it to be just a little bit over 1 inch, so I went ahead and I did 1.15 inches up and down. That's what I love about My Gypsy, because you can do that, okay? Okay, so anyway, so that's that part right there. And then the card base, I went ahead and I just clicked on the card feature. I swear this cartridge has it all. I love it. And the card I chose for that one is, let's see, which one was it? It was this one right here. So it was the second to the last row, 8 across, okay? That's the one I chose to use for my card today, okay? And this, I just made sure the height on it was was 4.25 inches up and down, okay? So now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and make sure this goes in there. Now, if you just place it there, you don't have to weld it, because when you plug it into your Cricut to cut it out, it's going to automatically cut with the little image in there, okay? But I like welding it together only because you can move it all around all at once without having to move them both, okay? But before I weld those two together, I need another one because I'm going to do a layer, okay? So let me move this down here. So I just copied that over because I want to make another layer, so that next layer has to have a hole as well. So on this one right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to group this all together. So I'm going to click on my group feature, and when everything turns blue, okay, you click on everything till it turns blue, and then you're going to go ahead and click on your advanced button, and then click on weld, and to make sure it's all welded together, you click on your eyeball, and when everything's red, that's red marks means where it's going to cut, so you know it's welded perfectly, okay? So now what I want to do is I want to get another, let me move this cursor right there. I want to go back here, and I want to get another one of those, so I'm going to click on that again. And what I want to do is I want to make it big enough where it could layer. Oops, hold on, let me undo. Okay, so anyway, sorry about that. What I want to do is I just want to use this little feature here, the little, I call it the hourglass one, and you just kind of keep tapping in it. And I made that one too big. I just want to make it big enough where it could layer in here perfectly. So let me go ahead and put it just like that, okay? So what I want to do, you see how I like to just put it right on top of that, and then I just use my little feature here to make it bigger. And I think I want a little bit bigger, just like so. You see how it's, you see the blue part and then the red part, you see how it's layering in there perfectly? Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to just click on this bottom button here and then move my screen. I want to come to this little shape here, okay? And then by clicking this, this won't move all the images on, like I learned my lesson with that. So what you want to do is I want to grab this and I want to perfectly layer it right on top. I have to go like this so I could see. Okay, you see how it's layered perfectly on top of there? So now what I want to do is I'm going to weld that and the top layer together. So I clicked on that already and I'm going to click on my group button and that's all blue there. So now what I'm going to do is click on my advanced, weld it, and then look at it and everything's red, so it's perfect. You see how nicely it's going to layer? Okay, so now let me unzoom it and let me get out of here. Oops, let me turn off my eyeball. And I'm going to move this down here. But see, this is the layer. I don't want the entire thing to cut out. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move it all the way to the left. So it's only going to cut to where those little notches are. And those are for folding purposes. I usually hide them, but I noticed when I cut it out earlier, they didn't even show up, so I did not have to hide them. So that was a good thing. Okay, so now that's basically how I designed it here in My Gypsy. This is going to get cut out in some craft colored cardstock, and this is going to get cut out in some pattern paper. Let me go ahead and show you how I put it together. Here is the card base right here. Okay, you see how it welded it out perfectly in there. And I went ahead and I scored it. I found this, and it was funny because when we were at our Hobby Lobby field trip, we had seen, this was the first time I've ever seen 12 by 12 craft color. It is by their brand, Paper Studio. It's a little, it's good, but it's not as like sturdy as my paper tray ink. But you know what, I could live with this since it is 12 by 12, so I was able to get 3 of these cards off of one because I did need 3. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and just use this one right here. This was one of the fall season inks from Tim Holtz. This is the Gathered Twigs. And I'm just going to go ahead and just ink up the edges here, okay? Just to kind of, you know, just stress it up just a tad. Alrighty. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do the center as well, right here. I love this little thing that I'm doing this on because it cleans up perfectly after. Just with a little wipey. Okay. Okay, so that part's done. And then what I want to do is I want to do the same thing to this piece right here. And this piece comes from my favorite fall collection here. This is from Die Cuts with a View, and this is their Harvest Gathering matte stack. And I've used this several times already. That's my favorite fall paper right now. So I'm so happy I have that. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and just ink up these edges like so as well. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing like I did over there. I'm just going to do the inside of it as well. Okay. Alrighty, that part's done. Now for my the labels I use. Now what I did was I went ahead and I ran this through my Imagine machine again. Remember I showed you on that last video how I printed this on my Imagine. These are the labels, those little address labels, and I believe they are two. I don't have the package with me. I gave the package to my mom, but I believe they're 1 inch by 2 5/8. I think, I'm not sure to be honest with you, but they're the ones that have 30 labels on a sheet, okay? And what I did was I used my vintage, I'm not sure if you say damask or damask. This is the cartridge I used for it. And then I used this one right here. This one, that pattern for my labels. Because I figured I didn't want to keep them plain white. I wanted some kind of texture with it. And for that pretty label, I actually used this one here. What do you call it? I stamped it on there with this fired brick. And I use these cool little awesome labels right here. These are they're called limitless labels, which they are because there's so many things on here. I use this little leaves right there, which was I thought was pretty for that right there. But there's all kinds of stuff. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 different labels in here, and then you could do like, excuse me, like these little images fit in the circles. Like there, you could do 4th of July, something for teacher, Easter for baby, St. Patty's Day, Valentine's. There's birthday. Happy birthday. There's something for the coach on here. Happy fall, make a wish, neighbor, true friend, celebrate today. There's so many of these in here, and I love these. I had gotten these from Paper Tray Ink about maybe 4 years ago, and I'm so glad I have them because I really want, now that, remember I told you my son wanted these candies for for Halloween. I still have tons of left because I overbought these, so I have plenty of those to work with right now. So anyways, what I did was I just stamped it right on here, which I thought came out perfect. Okay, now keep in mind when you do this on your Imagine, it's not going to cover the entire thing. It's just this is like a big 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 8.5 square that I had to use. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and put this on our nugget here. Oopsie. Okay, there we go. Isn't that pretty? So beautiful. Okay, so that goes around. And don't worry about if it doesn't completely print all the way because that's going to be at the bottom anyway, okay? Okay, so that is that. So now what I'm going to do, let me move this out of the way since I don't think I need any more inking done here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and put this right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and just put the glue on the inside like so. Okay. And then this is going to go right here. So you see how perfect that is? Isn't that pretty? I'm so happy I printed it with my Imagine because look, it just gives a really pretty background, like a little background on top of a background. Okay, so this is going to go like so. But what I want to do is I want to grab my little fall. This is from, I believe I got this from Trendy Twine. TrendyTwine.com. This is their fall twine. It's so cute. I love it. Okay, let me... And I'm just going to wrap this around here just a couple of times like so. Oopsie. Okay, so let me go ahead and trim that right there. And then I'm just going to tie a little bow here. I'm going to have to like kind of work with this. And I'm just doing just a simple little like tie your shoelace bow, nothing major. Let me pull these little guys out. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm just going to like kind of scooch this over here just a tad. There we go. And then I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of flare this out just a little bit here. But you know, actually I don't like it that way. Hold on. Okay, you see what I was trying to do? What I wanted to do is I didn't want the bow to be like across the street. I wanted it to be like right where this meets right here, this little opening you see right there in the center. Almost see that. That's still not over far enough. Let me move this over. Of course I did the other two all perfectly, and it's because I'm on camera is why I'm doing this. Is not cooperating with me right now. But I think that should do it. Alright, there we go. Okay, there goes our little bow there. Now what I want to do is, let's see, let's go ahead and get this down first before I decorate it. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use my zip dry glue here. Only because since I have the twine on there, I just want to make sure the twine stays down on there perfectly as well. Make sure it all gets adhered down perfectly. I love this stuff because this stuff does not wrinkle your paper at all. Okay, and this is just going to go just like so. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. Uh-oh, I forgot to get that out. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of hold that down just a little bit. And while I'm holding that part down, I'm just going to go ahead and just trim these little tails right here. Okay. Alright. And then, let's see, and then I'm going to go ahead and get my sentiment on here. Let me fix this. Is bothering me right there. Okay. And let me grab it. This is going to go right here. I'm going to put this right there. So let me grab a little, I'm not going to use pop top. I'm not going to use pop dots this time. I'm just going to use this right here. It's a little roll here. I'm so glad I got it. Because you know me, I love to use lots of these. Lots of pop dots. I figure, you know what, I think this will probably work for me better for right now. I will, oops, ooh, that was a big no-no. I picked up the wrong scissors. Those never touch anything sticky or paper. Those only touch my ribbon or any material. Okay, this I cut too big. Let me just kind of trim that down just a tad. Okay, there we go right there. See, I could have put one, but you know me, I love to use lots of this. So I figure, you know, I think that roll will probably do me good. Okay, so this is just going to go right here. So grateful for you. Now this came from my stamp set, which is also called So Grateful for You, and it has a lot of thank you sentiments. And what I like, how I designed this, I kind of just put thank you, and then you could put for being so sweet, for taking care of me. Like you could add all of these to that, you know, to kind of complete the sentence. I love that set. Okay, because you can never have enough thank yous, right? All right, that's going to go there. And then I'm going to use these cute little felt leaves. I found these at Hobby Lobby, like I said, for my field trip there when they first opened. Okay, sorry about that. My little fur babies were acting like big bad wolves out there, acting like they're going to eat somebody up. I think I got a delivery, which is a good thing. Okay, what I'm going to do, sometimes they do stick, but I like to, just in case, since this is a heavier little piece of material here, I like to just throw some extra hot glue gun on it anyway, just to make sure it sticks on here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of probably put this somewhere. Oops, I don't want to cover up, so I'll put that right there. It could hang off the card. I don't mind it hanging off the card. Okay, so I'm just going to hold that down for a quick sec. Now let me trim these guys up there. Oops. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of stickles on this little leaf here. And I'm going to use this one here, the goldenrod. I think this will look pretty. I'm not going to put it all over. I'm just going to kind of put it in little sections. And it'll go with the candy too. It'll match the candy. Just a little bit here and there. I don't want to OD it, you know. Put so much. Okay. Just a little bit, just a little hint of it. Now, since this is such an open area, like right here, ooh, my sentiment's a little bit crooked, but that's okay. It wouldn't be handmade if it was perfect, right? Okay, let me see. I'm just going to put that button there. I'm not going to put any twine through it or nothing. I'm just going to basically put it on as is. And those were, I believe those were linen color buttons there from Paper Tray Ink. Okay, you don't see me doing this, but I'm putting a hot glue gun here on my button right there. Oopsie. Okay, perfect. So grateful for you. Isn't that so pretty? Aren't these so super cute? I'm so excited. I had a dream about these last night. I was thinking, you know what? I really need to get rid of those, these little nuggets. So I'm so excited that I have that stamp set from Paper Tray Ink. It is the best. I love it. So many different things you could do with it. And look at it. I didn't even realize they had a little fall label on there until I was actually looking at it last night. I mean, this morning when I woke up, when I had this vision last night. So anyways, so grateful for you, and that's what I am for all of you out there. So thank you so, so much for joining me today. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow. I will be choosing my design team. There were so many awesome entries. Everybody, thank you so, so much for participating, but I just want to let you know, if you didn't get picked, I have something for everybody. I didn't want to like leave everybody out. So if you applied for my design team, don't forget to stay tuned, because I do have some news for everybody else who did not get picked. Okay, so I will see you back here tomorrow morning. Have a great day, everybody. Bye bye.